We interrupt this program to bring you an important Wayfair message. Wayfair's got style tips for every home. This is Styles McKenzie helping you make those rooms sing. Today's style tip. When it comes to making a statement, treat bold patterns like neutrals. Go wild, like an untamed animal print area rug under a rustic farmhouse table from Wayfair.com. Arr, fierce. This has been your Wayfair style tip to keep those interiors superior.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
You're listening to the Best Morning Routine Ever podcast, the show that proves no one stumbles upon success ever. With your host, Lou Need. Every Mondays and Thursdays, we deliver cold hard evidence behind the power of a robust morning routine. Get ready to be transformed by the renewal of your mind.
Hello, morning enthusiasts. Welcome to the Best Morning Routine Ever podcast. I am your host, Dr. Lunid, and today I am elated and super excited to have a very special guest to the show, Amy Ingle. Now, she is an advanced registered nurse practitioner and the founder of Sweet Spot Media Spa and Med Aesthetic Academy. She earned her Bachelor of Science in Nursing from the University of Missouri, Columbia, and now she is combining the clinical aspect of it with entrepreneurship. And I'm really excited to dive into what that combo looks like and how you become successful in it. So with no further ado, Amy, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course, it's my absolute pleasure. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about your story, how you got started, because we love a hero's journey.
Sure. So I went to the University of Missouri, as you mentioned. I got my bachelor's in nursing, and I've done pretty much, I feel like, everything in nursing. I worked in peds, worked in the NICU, worked in burn, surgical ICU, home health. And over the years, I've always had this entrepreneurial spirit. I always looking to just have my own business, be my own boss, make my own hours. And so I decided, I'm going to do that. So I opened a home health agency and did that for a little while, but it just wasn't enough. And so I decided I sold the home health business, my part, and I used that money to go back to school, and I got my master's and became a nurse practitioner about almost 10 years ago. And through that journey, I did work in the hospital, but again, I just had the entrepreneur spirit and I wanted to do something on my own. So I learned how to provide treatments for clients like Botox, injectables, filler, laser treatments. So I just kept training myself, going to lots of conferences and classes just to really get my feet into the ground and just go full force in opening a business. So about 8 years ago, I'm in Southwest Florida. I opened up Sweet Spot Medi Spa, and it was just me. And I was in this little tiny cubby in a salon suite. And I just worked really hard. I was also working at the hospital because I wasn't making enough money to support myself. This was a side thing. But over the years, just by getting great reviews and asking for those reviews and turning what clients want to tip me, I would turn that into a review. So I'd say, please don't tip. Just give me a review. That's much more gratifying for me and will help my business grow. So that's kind of how I helped my business really flourish. Now I have 14 employees and 2 locations. So it's just been quite a journey. And the medical field, the medical field is changing every day, but the industry of beauty is just booming like crazy, especially in the area that I'm in Southwest Florida. We're seeing medical spas pop up all over the place on a daily basis.
It's good timing. Absolutely. And that's important in starting a business.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. We're finding that it's kind of diluting our market right now. So some of us that's been in the game for 10 plus years, we're noticing, we may not have as many people coming through the door as new clients because it is diluting. But I think over time, we're going to see it kind of even out. And the ones that have been in the market, in the industry for a while are going to stick with it, where, some may just not, be able to survive the high cost that it takes to run a medical spa. It's very expensive.
Yeah. And I want to tap into that. You mentioned earlier, you've always had the knack for entrepreneurship. And once you've been bitten by the bug, there's no going back. You can start multiple things. And then unless you find your niche and something you're super successful at, you're going to continue to keep searching and keep finding stuff.
Right. And a lot of people think that just because you're an entrepreneur, you own your own business, life is just amazing. You hardly work, you're on vacation all the time. But, really, that's not true. When I'm on vacation, I'm working, I'm answering my phone, I'm, taking calls. It's a 24/7 job. I mean, it's always with you. However, it's so gratifying because it's something you create. It's something that you imagine and you put forward and get to see those fruits flourish.
Yeah, you're building something. It's a legacy. It's very different now. And
Yes.
that's why you work all the time. It doesn't feel like it a lot of the times because it's your baby and you're growing it.
Right.
But yeah, you don't turn that brain off. I know what you mean.
Yes. No, never goes off. Never.
You mentioned it's being diluted because there's a lot of different medi spas popping up. How are you diversifying? How are you staying relevant to your existing client and potentially new ones?
Yes, that's a good question. So I have a lot of clients that I've had since the beginning, 8 years ago with me. In our area, we get hurricanes, and it seems like every year we have a bad hurricane, people will move out. So we've seen a lot of people move into the area and move out of the area. So there's, constant movement. And then we're also very seasonal. So we have more of our clients here in the wintertime between November to April, whereas in the summer, it's very, very, very slow. So you have to be very creative when you have so many ups and downs when it comes to the market. You have to save up during the winter so that you can pay your bills during the summer. You just have to be smart about it. So sticking with the idea that, you want to keep your client. Once you have a client, you've got to keep them. You've got to do everything you can to keep them. And that's really important. And it's the trust. So I know that clients, when they come through the door, the first thing I ask if they're a new client is, how did you find us? Why did you pick us? And probably 9 out of 10 times they saw our Google review and they liked what they saw. So that has really helped. I've just really, really emphasized asking for reviews at the end of treatments. So those clients keep coming back because they trust us and they know us and they feel comfortable with us. Another thing that really gives our clients that feeling of trust is not pushing treatments down their throat. I hear so many times there's clinics and offices and spas around the area that you walk in the door and they just buy this package. You got to have this. We don't do that. We look at the whole body we look at every person as a whole. And we will make suggestions, but we are not pushy. So we come up with a treatment plan and we make sure that they understand that, hey, this doesn't all have to be done this week or this year. This could be something down the road when, they feel like they're ready for. So trust is huge when it comes to this area of expertise.
Yeah, they trust you, then they'll do business with you.
Exactly.
That's what it comes down to. I think your tactic early on, and I'm not sure if you're still doing it, was genius. Forego the tip for a review on Google, and it's still paying in dividends.
It is. Yes. And we'll still have clients come through the door and say, oh, I want to tip you. And my policy is with all my injectors is, no, we're nurses. We care for our clients, but we want to get that review. I'll even say, hey, do a review, but don't tip me. Save that money so you can come back next month and get the treatment that you were wanting that we spoke about. So I just try to turn it around that way, just so they know it's not all about the money. I just don't want our clients to feel like they come through the door and we don't care about them, because it's not true. It's not true.
Yeah, you're not pushy with the sales, with the upsell, and you're not taking a tip, and you're still following that today?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, so we have 2 estheticians, and they do get tips. That my policy is, yes, they can get tips. But the nurse practitioners, the physician assistant, no.
I love that. And that's one way of you almost giving back to the community, but also it is, like I said earlier, is paying back in dividends. How do you foster that sense of care that other clinics are not doing? Or what other ways? That's one of them, but what else would you do?
Well, we have specials every month for our existing clients. We don't usually broadcast them on social media. It's just for our clients, and they get that in their email every month, so they know that that they look forward to seeing what the special is for the next month. We actually did something today that we've never done before. Is I knew that we were going to have a big special in September, the end of September, a back to school special, and I usually don't announce any of them until the first of the month. But today we sent out some text messages and say, hey, we let the cat out of the bag and you're our VIP patient client. And we just want to let you know, if you're interested in the special, we haven't announced it yet on email. You can go ahead and sign up and get on the books for the special. So we had a lot of signups today, and we've never tried that before. And it was very successful.
Yeah, it's good to learn about the different ways to do customer service, to do marketing without paying ads, paying for ads essentially.
Right.
Utilizing your already existing customers, and that's big.
Mm-hmm.
That's huge.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's talk about the work that you do. What are some of the common things people come in for?
I would say the top two would be Botox type products. We carry 5 different types of neurotoxins. So Botox and then filler. So facial filler, like cheek filler, lip filler, jawline, chin. We do mainly that. We also do weight loss. So we have clients come in and go through a weight loss program that we provide for them with injections or with oral weight loss tablets. Like I said, we have 2 estheticians, so we do facials and aquafacials, dermaplaning, but we also have equipment. We have laser devices. We do microneedling. We do body contouring, IPL, CO2. Oh, wow. And then besides that, we're very specialized in that. We do regenerative medicine. We've been doing regenerative medicine for about 7 to 8 years, almost 8 years. And one thing that I've incorporated into our practice is we do sexual health. So I don't know if you've heard of the O shot, the P shot. We do something similar to that for ED, for vaginal dryness and libido issues. We also do hair restoration with exosomes and platelets, PRP, Wharton's jelly, which is like it's a mesenchymal cell that comes from an umbilical cord of babies. So we do all kinds of really neat stuff that's kind of fresh out there in the market. I'm always testing things. We're starting to sell peptide strips, which we're finding are really amazing, that are doing very well. So if you want to learn what the latest is, come to Sweet Spot Medi Spa, because we're always testing things out.
Girl, you're doing it all.
It's a lot. Yeah. One of my nurse practitioners said, hey, let's start doing hormone therapy. And I'm like, oh, now one more thing. Can't do that. So we'll leave that to the other spa down the street.
I mean, you're staying innovative, right? That's the other way you're staying relevant. Because the times changes, the customer is changing, right? You see that, I'm sure the dynamic is changing. They're getting younger and younger. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, this is true. So many clients come in that are in their 20s and 30s. And it's funny, it's when they come in and I do an intake and I said, okay, what brought you here? They said, I don't like what I'm starting to see. And I know what my mom and dad look like. And I want to prevent that, like the lines on their face. They said, they think I'm too young, but I know that it's best to start now younger as for preventative and do like less dosing than to wait till I'm older and you can't reverse some of those lines that have already set into the face. And that is so true. So we are seeing a lot of females and males coming in that are younger in their 20s and 30s. We lose collagen at the end of our 20s. So, it makes sense to start doing good skincare routines and any maintenance or, treatments that you need to kind of maintain that glow in your face.
Mm-hmm. And what is the downfall? So I don't have any yet. I got these high cheekbones.
Yes, you're blessed. You're blessed.
But I do have girlfriends who do take it, all consistent with it with the schedule, and I know that's important because they start seeing the need for it. What happens if we just stop? Financial will happen. Is it a downward fall, like slope, or trickled?
Well, I get asked that a lot as well. So I actually, this past week, I had a client come in and said, if I start doing Botox injections and fillers and then I decide to stop, is it going to be worse, or is it going to be better, or am I going to just have to do this the rest of my life? Mm-hmm. So, everyone's different. And when they come to me, it depends on their skin and their age and their lifestyle. And do they eat the right foods? It all depends on that. However, what I do tell my clients is when you start doing, like, say, Botox to help with lines in the face, and you do it for a while and then say, yeah, I can't afford this, or I don't have time to go and get my treatments, and you stop, you're going to think that your lines are worse than before you started. And the reason that is because people get used to looking in the mirror at their face. And if they see their face without wrinkles for months or years, and then they stop and they come back, they think they are worse than before. So they'll blame sometimes Botox on their lines, which it's really not that. It's all based on, our perception of ourselves. And also we age. So we're aging every day. And so you may see a couple extra lines over a couple of years after you started Botox. You might see some new lines, but that's just, you were going to get those anyway. It doesn't cause lines. Mm-hmm.
That's what I was going to ask. There's some things that are inevitable. You go from 20 years gap in age, you just cannot fight the laughing line. Okay. Right. So there are some things that you just going to have to accept, right?
Right. Exactly. But you can also, just do little maintenance. We're really big about keeping everyone looking natural that comes out of our spa. You've seen some people go into a spa, they come out and they have a pillow face where they have a really full face. Yeah. Or they have alien cheekbones. I mean, I've seen so many things. You've seen like Catwoman, people can go way over the edge. But one of the things that we do that I've always stressed with my injectors is go low and slow. You can always add more, but it's always good to be conservative and let the client get used to the new filler in their face. It gives them a little volume. Don't overdo it, because I did learn early on that if you do overdo it in their eyes, it might not be in my eyes. I may be like, you need that, but to them, they'll never come back to you. Mm. So I always tell my clients, let's just do one syringe today and then wait 2 weeks. And then if you feel like you need more volume, we can add more. Yeah. And the clients really appreciate that.
Yeah. And they kind of need that information, right? You want to be taught. They trust you to know to help them with what's best for them, because you're the expert. Right. Yeah. So right. I love that. What about things that, I guess we talked about the things that can go wrong if it's not filled up, and any reaction? How does the symptoms, how do you know the body's what's going to adjust or adapt to this foreign thing in the face?
Yeah, there's always risks with anything, with any kind of medication. Tylenol has risks. There's always risks. So we always have our clients fill out a consent form, sign it, read it. We talk about the risks involved. And then, there's minimal risk really with what we do, but there can be some serious risks as well. Mainly it's with the filler. So you can actually get into a blood vessel and into an artery. And that is that's kind of a major concern when it comes to our field, because if you block an artery with a filler, then you'll have perfusion issues and you could have tissue death. So that is something that we take into consideration when we're injecting. We use certain needle sizes. We use cannulas to prevent, to decrease the chance of going to a vessel. We use ice to numb. There's all kinds of things that we do to try and prevent any type of reaction or adverse event. However, there's it could happen. So if we feel like there is an issue with the client that we treated, we kind of keep tabs on them. We make them check in with us. We have them come back. We do follow-ups. And we've been very lucky, I have to say, we haven't had very many adverse events. Nothing major. Nothing. Mm-hmm. Never had to call 911. Thanks the Lord. But if that had to be the case, if something like that happens, we're all trained in what to do. So, we know, if we see something that's very alarming, the next step to take.
Yeah, it helps having the healthcare background and being a nurse. Yes. Because then you understand how the body works and everything. So that.
Right. Yeah.
Amy, tell us about your morning routine. How do you get up, dress up, and show up?
Well, I get up in the morning, or it depends what's on my mind. So it could be 6 in the morning, it could be 7, 8. But when I get up, the first thing I do is I will work, because my brain is like, that is the best time of the morning of the day for me to work, is the morning. My brain is fresh. It's ready to go. I'm motivated. So I will do some work on the computer for a couple hours, and then I'll listen to YouTube. I'll listen to like Bible verses and just get inspired with the Lord. And then I usually go into the spa and I'll see clients. I see clients twice a week. It used to be 4, but we're so busy with having 2 locations that I just can't spread myself that thin. And I'm also doing some other things on the side. So I really need that extra time to like work in the back, work on the sideline, and not see clients all week, every day. So I'm starting a podcast. I want to educate guests on the things that we're talking about right now, and have, expert witnesses. I also would like to start a training program, and I have kind of implemented that. It's about to launch. So that's taken a lot of time. I've actually gone to offices and trained dentists, doctors, nurse practitioners, PAs, but I'm going to have a training program at my Punta Gorda location. So I have a conference room, and then I have 2 treatment rooms. So I'm going to be starting that soon. So it's really, it's a lot. I'm tired.
You stay busy. I'm tired.
I'm tired.
But
that's
you're
my
happy.
morning routine.
I'm tired, but I'm happy.
Right. Exactly.
And then that ties into like finding your purpose, right? Living your purpose, where you don't, it doesn't feel like, as we started out saying, it doesn't feel like work, but then you are adding tremendous value.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's some days I'm like, why do I keep putting more on my plate? Why can't I just step away and just take a breath? But that's just not my nature. I just go, go, go. And if I'm not going, then I feel like I'm missing out. So I don't know if that's a disease, if that's a psychological problem, but I've always been that way ever since I was young. So I'm just motivated just to keep going and make things better.
Yeah, you have the capacity as well. Not all people can say that, right? They say God will not give you more than you can handle, and you've been filled, and you're expanding.
Yes,
you'll get more. You're also expanding to take on more, right? Faithful over little, you faithful over many, and so you have the capacity.
Yes, absolutely. And I just need to learn to ask for help. Not do it all on my own. I need to ask the Lord. I need to ask my injectors. I need to ask, my friends and family. I just, that's hard for me, because I'm kind of like a type A, control a little bit, but I'm trying to let loose, let go, and just, go with the flow.
Automate or delegate.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. It's a struggle. It's a struggle.
Tell us, where can we find you? How can we connect with you?
Yes, certainly. So I'm on Facebook and Instagram as Sweet Spot MediSpa. Also, sweetspotmedispa.com is our website. I'm also the Sweet Face Injector, both on Instagram and Facebook. And then we'll have a podcast going on our YouTube. It's called Med Aesthetics Academy. So you'll be able to go on there and see our podcast as well.
Fantastic. Yeah. Amy, it's been such a pleasure having you. Thank you for coming in and sharing your experts and how you can combine your passion with entrepreneurship, and you don't feel like you're working a day in your life, but you'll be tired and happy.
That's right. That's right. That's right. You got it. Thank you so much. This was fun.
Yeah, of course. It's been amazing. Thank you for your time.
All right.
All right, morning enthusiasts. That's it for today's show. Thank you for tuning in. If you love the Best Morning Routine Ever podcast, we'd love to hear from you. So go ahead and subscribe, rate, and give a review on iTunes or Google Play. While you're at it, tell a friend about the show. Be sure to visit bestmorningroutineever.com and our Facebook group to join the conversation, access the show notes, and discover our fantastic free bonus content. Until next time,